I'm Satshya, I'm a content creator, and I'm very excited to be on this episode of Streecommends with Vitamin Stree to talk about female characters who have made me go, whoa. Hi, this is Satshya from the future, here to tell you that the show is called Streecommends. Not Stree Recommends, Streecommends by Vitamin Stree. And let's get back to the episode. So I am currently rewatching all the seasons of the Mindy Project by Mindy Kaling. And Mindy Lahiri, who's the main character, she's not your typical feminist icon. She's always thinking about how to get a guy and she's extremely superficial. But she's also very hilarious and honest about all her flaws. I love the way she says, no sunrise is so beautiful that it's worth waking me up for. And it's a very uplifting and nice show to watch after a stressful day. It's created by Mindy Kaling, a comedic genius. After all, she worked on The Office, which is the greatest show on earth. You can quote me on that. Next up is the character Baby Mole, played by Anna Ben in the Malayalam movie Kumbalangi Nights. What a movie. Please, 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 please go watch it. She is a young girl in a family where her sister's husband is like extremely controlling, super patriarchal, but she really holds her own and she's not afraid to talk back when everyone else in the house is like afraid of him. Even when the guy she dates, her relationship with him is so interesting because she's not like, he's very confused in life and she's not like, I will change him, I will, put in all the work. She's like, listen, you better change because that's gonna help us grow better together as a couple. That is goals. Sivagami, played by Ramya Krishnan in Bahubali. Now, Bahubali is known for a lot of things. Fantastic sets, Rana Daggubati's abs, huge battle scenes, two men facing off each other, all this testosterone flying around. But what really stood out for me was the character of Sivagami, who is Bahubali's adoptive mother. There is this one scene where she's walking in this hall and there's fire all around her and she's carrying a baby, and that just gives you such a feeling of power and like goosebumps because it reminds you that she is this lioness ready to protect her kids and her kingdom, and you feel like she deserves to be queen. She has a knife fight while holding a baby. She has my vote. Speaking of women warriors, there's always one scene that makes me go like and feel very strong, and that is the Battle of the Amazons in Justice League Snyder Cut. It's such a beautiful scene because it's one of those rare scenes where the focus is on a woman's strength rather than her sexuality. All of these women come together and get bows and arrows and they do hand-to-hand combat. Like, I'm getting goosebumps right now just talking about it. Anytime you feel low, just watch that scene. You'll feel like strong. It gives you that sense like, yeah, today I can do anything. Who are you? Not like that, but you get what I'm saying. Amazing scene, and yeah, I would love to live life as an Amazon. One character who always gives me this boost of enthusiasm and positive energy is Leslie Knope, who's played by Amy Poehler in the show Parks and Recreation. Such a fantastic mockumentary. And the character of Leslie Knope is very similar to who I was in school. Very like, yes, I got it, before you become jaded by adult life. My favorite part about the show are the nicknames that she gives her best friends. Like, you beautiful glowing sun goddess, rainbow-infused space unicorn, you poetic noble land mermaid. They immediately make you feel so great, and it's such a smart, funny, great show. I watched it thrice already. As you can tell, I make very good use of my time. Two books I would definitely recommend with very strong female characters. One is Circe by Madeline Miller, and the second is Americanah by Chimamanda Adichie. Both of these central women characters, they're very strong, well-developed individuals, but who are also very clearly flawed. The way both of these books are written, it really takes you through the mind of these protagonists and how they think about life and think about the choices that they make. You really relate to it on a very personal level because these could be situations that you find yourself into. It was very refreshing seeing women not as maidens in distress, but rather making their own way in the world. My final recommendation is this poem called The Old Playhouse by Kamala Das. The poem talks about the fact that as women, we have certain roles to fulfill in society and asks us to reflect on how much of our individuality is allowed when we are asked to fill these roles. It talks about the perspective of a young woman who gets married because she thinks it's an escape from her strict home life, but then realizes she's in a bigger cage herself. Her husband is a very dominating man. The imagery in this poem is beautiful, and it's a poem that I read back in college and it has still stuck with me and made me really think about no matter how we transition into different phases of our life, how much of ourselves are we retaining. It's a fantastic poem. I would highly recommend you read it. Stick it on your wall and read it every day. Those were all my recommendations. If you have any more recommendations for great female-driven books and movies and shows, please let me know. Put them in the comments below. And if you'd like Vitamin Stree to showcase or feature anything else, let them also know in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and make sure to like, subscribe and share Vitamin Stree for more.